Okay. Makes some sense. What do we want to... I want to say that's it, right? I see. Oh, good save. See, could we do it like this? Perfect. I think that is good. All right. Good morning, people. We're back. Once again. Is that a reverse kick I hear going into the kick? No, there's it's like a little percussive element. And then that's a sub bass. That kick, that sub bass, and then that little... I want to say it's like a Congo, whichever the smaller one is. This has got a little more of like a cinematic hip hop vibe to it. Appreciate you stopping by. How you doing this morning? I like that one. Pretty smooth, pretty chill. Oh, I forgot. There we go. Good, just waking up. Same here. I'm late. I should have been here 35 minutes ago. I was talking to some people yesterday and they were like, when's the next time you stream? I was like, I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. You see it's 6:35. Man, but it's storming out here too. So got up, tried to make some food, get myself together, all of that, and a little late. I'm sorry. But my daughter's, no longer got to do the school for right now. She's on her summer vacation, and she starts 6th grade in a few months. So nice. So yeah, instead of the evening thing, let me take a shot at this morning thing. So we're gonna try and get ourselves into the habit of the morning thing. If you do, what kind of music do you make? I just make whatever. So we started this yesterday. This is what we got here. Speeded the tempo up a little bit. We still got some other ideas that we wanted to kind of add in here. Right here, I kind of separated the two instruments that I had here. So no electric piano, and then we kind of chopped a section to kind of keep it going. I'm still debating on how I want to do this. I might have to replay. There's a part where it sounds like it kind of spikes and gets a little louder. Ah, I see. I was wondering what that could have been. Here, could we, So, is it supposed to be like this? Is that where... Okay, hold on. Let me see where I messed up. Nah, I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Now I gotta figure out what I did wrong. I don't think I did anything wrong, but I hate seeing those like gaps, which is making me think I did something wrong. So yeah, that's correct. Okay, we're good. I don't know how I got it to chop this funny, but then that means this is what I'm talking about. Hold on. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Now that we got that together, that should take up the entirety going forward. Boom. Oh shoot, I forgot about the... Darn it, I did that, didn't I? I'll pay for it. Quick second. Want this part. We don't want that, so... I feel like an idiot. Shh, we're not gonna talk about that. That's a completely different instrument. There we go. Alright, cool. Nice to see someone who makes beats but actually makes their melodies. Man, it's been a long process. It's been about a good 3 years putting myself on the spot and y'all watching me fuck it up every time. and actually have to carry on from that. But at the same time, you kind of get to see the growth, right? And just talking about this stuff yesterday. Okay, so reading, right? I'm teaching myself jazz. Got a real book here with a bunch of jazz standards in it. So I went from just like, you know, a lot of us playing by ear, right? And went from that to, you know, being able to do little basic things. That's my saxophone there, so we're kind of cooked on that one, right? So went from, you know, just having those basics, playing everything in, right? Went from playing everything in like root position and all that, and it got to a point where I kind of hit a wall. There were certain sounds, there were certain chords I was hearing, and I couldn't pull it off. I didn't know what to call it. I didn't know how to form it. Nothing. So that for me was the brick wall. And to get over that brick wall, I had to do some work. I had to get my weight up, right? To be able to knock this thing down. So now we're in a position where we can kind of make sense of what we're doing. Ooh. Right, so now we're kind of skating a little bit, just a little bit. So when I'm building, a lot of times I like to walk through or talk through what I'm doing, because the more you start to learn, the more you realize you're really never doing anything new. I don't care what you're talking about. You're not doing anything new, right? So once you start getting into the formulas and the math of it and all that, you're like, everybody's just recycling the same crap. Right? Everyone's recycling the same crap. And then you could. So we could. Okay. Right? We could take it into a whole nother key, because once you remember the formula and the pattern and the Roman numerals, then it doesn't matter what key you start in. As long as it's in that same scale, like a major scale, then the same formula applies. You just get a different vibe, right? And then you start, kind of having more fun. Right? You just start adding your own touch to it, and other elements come in, and you're good to go. Chord progressions are not illegal. Okay, just make sure that 80% of the composition is yours. Got another book in there, music business. All right, so I might be talking a little something, but make sure it's yours. So if you hear something you like, if you hear like a riff or a chord progression or something you want to use it, use it. Right? You're not the only person to play a 2-5-1, right? There's like 1,000,000,000 songs, right? You're not the one to mix it up and do a 2-5 and then do a 2-5 and another key, and you only got 12 keys. Bro, this stuff has been recycled and remixed to the sun. So listening to something, you hear whatever, and it sounds good to you. And what's crazy now is music, right? Prince called it, right? What did he say? Samples are gonna get shorter and shorter, right? People are gonna start sampling the sample. But did you realize in sampling the sample and making the sample shorter that you also made the chord progression shorter, right? So now everyone's like, you gotta do this 1, 4, 5, 1, and we're in a minor key, right? But it's short now, so we just do 1, then we go to 4, then we go to 1, then we go to 4, then we go to 1, then we go to 4, and the whole beat just swings off these 2 chords, right? Or it starts on a 1, then it goes to the 6, right? Or you do a 1, then you get a flat 2, right? And everything is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, so you don't get all of the you don't get these long chord progressions anymore, right? Everything is just short. So there's no way you're gonna sit down and say, I'm gonna make a trap beat right now and I'm gonna use a 1-4 progression. There are 12 major, 12 minor keys, and the 1-4 I'm gonna play is gonna be different from the 1-4 somebody else played. Don't kill yourself over it. don't do it to yourself, right? Make it have fun. So theory pretty my music theory's trash. All right, which is why I'm down this road. Let's see. Never practiced playing, so I can't actually. That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. I can sit there and listen to somebody talk about a concept, and my brain picks it up immediately. But actually getting your hands, your body, the hand-eye coordination to like just to actually put it in motion, that's a whole nother thing. You could be sitting there for the next 2 weeks, but your brain understands it. Your body just ain't with it yet. So once you kind of get caught up, you're like, oh yeah, 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 okay. But once you get the basics down, there are other things that can kind of help to elevate it that you oftentimes don't think about, right? So taking this, right? So I already played that, and then going into that 2-5-1, and I played another variation, right? But you could also another variation, and you can move this up a third from C major, or 1 2 3 into E flat major, and then do the same thing you just did here. So 1 7 3, then move into E flat major and do 1 7 3. And there are little things once all the basics get learned that to me is like right. But when I'm making music, I don't think to like apply it because it's not ingrained in there just yet. Whoops. Ah, right. So just little things, and then it gets again. A lot of that is either like root position, or there's like that. I don't know if you want to call it like a second grip. So you have like that, but then you have that, right, where it's a little closer together. We got two notes in the middle that are closer, and then the outer notes are kind of spread. Um, but you start realizing that you can start like that. You could just do weird things. So you could, I don't know. It's really cool. So I can start on D, but it doesn't mean I have to play D, right? I could play other chords against D and listen to how it sounds. So, for instance, if I want to take this A minor 7 and play it against D, that sounds really nice. Just because D is in the bass doesn't mean my root note in my right hand has to be D. But when you kind of look at it, there's your D minor 11, right? Right, and then without having to do too much, I could change the chord. So I could take these two notes and just move them up one. I could bring them back, right? And then we could right? And so I get excited about those things, right? Because when you learn, they're just like, all right, to do the chord, it's every other note. So you get stuck like that, right? Right, you get stuck like that, but teaching myself jazz here, um, there's an exercise called drone improv, where ooh, that's low, super low. So let's uh let's take our one, let's take our five. So this is our not in the right window. Boom. Here's our 1 5, right? Our C and our G, and then we just play the major scale. And in your left hand, you're just gonna, you can pick the pace, you can do whatever, right? And just play the scale. And you get to hear what the other notes sound like against this, right? Because let's say we play D, and you have C and you have G, well, that's gonna be a sus2, right? So you get to kind of form these other chords. And then what I like to do, because there's like practice the same thing for 10 minutes, you got me messed up. So I'll spend like a minute, I'll do major, and then I'll switch into minor. So I'll play the minor third. Right, and then you just shift up. Right, it's a nice little exercise. On about 12, 15 minutes, depending on how good you are at it, you go through all 12 major, minor, and you do them. And then, of course, my 2 5 1s, I do those in all 12, and then that's pretty much like my practice, my warm up, and then I'll get into making music. But in doing that, it's pretty practical because you start hearing things like, you know what? I like how I was playing that, right? So that's kind of helped. And like I said, that's where, being able to come up with this. Right? And so you start realizing that, okay, it's a good starting point. But then once you start like combining some of the concepts together, you start coming up with interesting stuff, and you realize I don't really have to move as much as I think I do to create the impact that I'm trying to create. Right? So again, here's your C minor 7, just an inversion. And then I can move this up like that. So there's a 1, there's a 5, and that would be not another 5, but as you can say, it's still a 1. It's just missing the C in the middle, but we're playing it on the bass. So you can right, and you can start coming up with some interesting stuff, man. I've been excited. I don't know who to talk to this. I don't know who to talk to about this stuff, man. I just hold it all in. I just hold it all in. Uh, I don't know. I would say more as far as the more serious approach, maybe about 3 years. But I can't really. It's more like an off-on kind of thing with me having like work and all that, and my daughter and all that, and certain situations in life. And sometimes you gotta look at your pride and joy and be like, man, I really need money right now, but I don't want to sell it. Take it to a pawn shop, and then go get it, a few weeks later or whatever. There's been a lot of that. So there's been a lot of moments where I get to actually like practice and do things, and then there are moments where I don't get to do anything at all but dream. Um, but in addition to this, and where I'm more proficient, is audio engineering, right? That's that's my I close my eyes and I can do that blindfolded, right? So after I create the music, I'll usually have streams where I do a walkthrough and I'll actually mix everything start to finish. I'll walk it through. Um, for mixing, the most important tools, right, or the five main tools you're gonna need is EQ, compression, saturation, reverb, and delay. And so if you can understand those five tools, like really well, then you can mix any track, right? The rest of that stuff is usually more of a remix kind of thing. So you're just creating, and maybe you want to put a phaser on it or something like that, but that's not something you're gonna find yourself in the mix when it comes to actually making the song sound good and clearing up the muddy areas and all that. You're not gonna need that for that, right? But those are your five main tools, right? So you can, for instance, picture your EQ like a stage, okay? And you're looking at this stage from the top down. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is the floor. And let's say we had a piano, right? Let's say I'm gonna boost. When I boost frequencies, I push those frequencies to the front of the stage so it's going to appear louder to the audience, okay? And when I cut the frequencies, I push it to the back of the stage so it's gonna sound quieter to the audience, right? And so I've dealt with it long enough to where I've taken this like philosophical approach to it, and so it actually sticks, right? Being able to take like wisdom and say something so simply that even people who haven't spent, years messing with these things could actually just absorb it in a short period of time and start getting used to it, right? So you can have a piano and a brass instrument playing, and maybe they're both clashing at 3K, and you don't know what to do and how to resolve it. Well, okay, they can't both be in front of the stage. Something's got to move somewhere, right? So you take this concept into mind. So you go to that area where they're having the clash and they're fighting. You say one's gonna have to take the foreground, one's gonna have to take the background. Whoever's taking the background gets the cut, right? So we create the illusion that the instrument is playing behind the other, right? So our whole thing is manipulating time and space, right? When we take these tools, our compression, our reverb, the delay, creating the room, right, and the pre-delay and the feedback and all that, we're creating time and space. Well, we're manipulating it, right? So yeah, I got a different approach to it, but I think folks like it. Same with panning. So energy flows in from your left to your right. It's much like your EQ, right? So if you very simply take your left hand, cover your left ear, and you start speaking, you'll notice the higher frequencies are more pronounced in your right ear, but the lower frequencies aren't as pronounced in the right ear. Then vice versa, you'll realize that the lower frequencies are more pronounced in your left ear, and the higher frequencies aren't. So when it comes to which way you're gonna pan something, just listen to it, right? Just listen to it. It'll tell you everything you need to know where it needs to go, because your ear will pick it up better, right? Depending on how, like, you can even just check it, right? There's nothing set in stone. However, there's some really basic things that if you understand, it's over. It's over with. So that's kind of the way I teach, and like I said, I can do that with my eyes closed. All the tools I mentioned, I can break it down. That's my thing. That's where the bulk of my time and the 20 years I've been doing this has gone to. And it's only as far as the music theory where I've actually just decided like, hey, I need to step this up. And so going from playing by ear and only knowing a few chords and a couple of progressions is now turning into just exploring and I'm having fun with it. I'm having fun. Yo, Jinx in the building. Appreciate you stopping by. Telling Tyler, appreciate that follow. Suck at mixing and mastering. Yeah, that's those are my veins right there. I like that. So I started out as a music artist back in the early 2000s, and then by like 2008, I had written my last song. But I found that I like more the behind the scenes work, anything, and that's when I started getting into it. But I didn't really have anyone to learn from or anything. I don't have any degrees, right? Or nothing like that. Never went to Full Sail, never went to Crash, never went to any of those. Um, it was a lot of trial and error, but it's to a point now where, you know, we can get right. So that stuff I was playing earlier and all that, that's all mine. That's all my stuff. This, I need to go and find better acapella. I didn't know somebody tried to do the stem separation on this, but the vocals kind of but I made this beat and then I put these vocals over it. And then kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It's a little bit cleaner than the original acapella. Not too much on the low end and stuff like that. I don't know why. I think acapellas, you would think those are already like set in stone, but I still go in there and want to EQ and do stuff to it. Jigga style is love, X and O. Save all your accolades, just the dough. My game is wide, all lanes aside. Trying to stay alive, hunting down for the bracelet. Foolish ain't out of chain. Yeah. So, but they're older, so I'm getting ready to do an update. But my YouTube channel, there's a playlist that says for streamers and content creators. Those beats there though are about 3 years old. Like I said, when I started doing this, I was low-key trash. I mean, there's some stuff there you might like, but for the most part, I don't like them anymore. And so now that I'm kind of going down this road and I'm learning more, you'll definitely hear much better that I'll put out. But there's there, and then BeatStars. I got a few of the newer ones that I've done like this up there on my BeatStars page. And that was a progression I was playing earlier, right? This one's also up there. Like I said, stuff that I make is pretty random day to day. This one I opened up with at the start of my stream. there's all kind of stuff here. Never know what I'll pull out my hat. This one should also be on my BeatStars page as well. But yeah, these I will get added to YouTube pretty soon. I've just been going back because now the mixing approach that I'm taking is console style emulation. And once I kind of learned about that, I tried it out, and I like the way it kind of glues things together better than the way I've been doing it, which is the way a lot of people do it, right? We just pick random stuff and say we're gonna use this EQ or that, whatever. But having something that's more, it's got it, you could say it's standardized, if you will, right? So my basic tools, like using my EQ, compression, things like that, are off the channel strips. So I'm using like an SSL 4000E channel strip on the first insert in my DAW, right on the mixer, and then if I need to route it out, which is how they would do it in the analog world, right? If I need to route it to a compressor, a different compressor, or route it to a tape machine or whatever, then I can do that, right? So then those would come next in the chain after. And I like I like how it kind of holds everything together a little bit better, and there's a bit more consistency across the board. And so I've been going back and redoing my mixes. Like these are the way I was doing it before, and it's not that it's bad, but I like the way that I'm doing it now, how it kind of tightens the low end a little bit better. It has a little bit more weight to it, and yeah, so. If I could, I'd try and do everything myself. So like even the hats and stuff, like I'll talk about that kind of stuff, like building your own hi-hat patterns and all that. And yes, we go in and we adjust those velocities, right? But I try and make it put into a format where it's a bit more simplified, so you're not, spending too much time trying to figure out how you're gonna do it. It's just like, here, set it like this, right? We're just gonna get like a nice little groove, and then from there you can start accenting things, just like stuff like that. This, I kind of like this one. It's got more of like an East Coast feel to it. Got a little swing to it too. It really does, which is why I spent so much money, because I want to be able to have control, as much control as possible over the ideas that are in my head and what I'm able to put out. And don't get me wrong, at one point, like I tried arcade and stuff like that, and for what it's worth, it did some good, right? But sometimes you're hearing something particular in your head and you want to create that, and you can't find anything that's even remotely close, and so you end up settling for something. And I'm sorry, when it comes to my music, I hate having to do that. So hell, with anything in life. I gotta settle for what? Nah, I'm good. Every now and then, you like, you just kind of bite your lip. You're like, whatever, right? Depending on what it is. But most times you're like, hell no, I'm not what I look like, right? Same thing with the music. Same thing. So yeah, just the more freedom that I have, right? The more tools, and like I said, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of times when I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I can't do it. Yes, I can. I can't do it. Yes, I can. I can't do it. And then I go and I do it. So, um, like this is it took a while. It took like a couple of years, but I got the collector's edition complete. So it started off with getting the ultimate edition, which once a year they usually have a sale where the upgrades are like 50% off. But they usually have a code for like complete select or whatever it is, and that code's like $100. Well, you get that and it qualifies you for the upgrade, 50% off. So then you're looking at like ultimate or standard. I think standard's like 400, where you would be able to upgrade to it at 50% off. So you start thinking about the total price you spend. You're like, well, I just saved $100 if I go from complete select to standard, right? Because that's 100 plus the 200, so you pay 300 instead of 4, right? But once you're in, that means the next time it's time to upgrade, you automatically qualify for the discount. You don't have to go through and get complete select again and all that. So I did that, and it hurt. It really did. But I got the ultimate edition because that was the introduction to the cinematic libraries, and so yeah, I had to go for it. So I went for that, and then the next time around, I just upgraded from Ultimate to the Collector's Edition, which was probably about the same amount I paid going from Complete Select to Ultimate, probably like 500-600. But now I have it, so whenever the next one comes out, I don't have to worry about upgrading up. I just upgrade to the new version. So I haven't looked into that, but let's say it's like $300 or $400 or something just to get whatever new stuff comes in the collector's edition. So it makes it a lot easier, right, to just go from one to another. But it did take some time. It's not like I just had it, went out and just out the gate, boom. I did it strategically in steps, and now I have pretty much everything I need. So, right. Everything in here is customizable. You can go into the cabinets, the amps, and all that. You pretty much got control over a lot of this stuff and what you can do. Probably the biggest things for me were some of these contain like loops, like the percussions here. Okay, so I like the fact that you can pull them up. There's one shots, but there are also loops, so you can create your own if you want to create like a different pattern than what they're offering there. And you just got like so many options. Got Choir Omnia, so that one track I was playing earlier. This one is actually that, so I can go in, I can manipulate the syllables and the phrasing and the articulation, and then I can play the chords or the notes on my keyboard, and then it will respond, right? It's not as intricate as say like a word builder, which I was hoping for, but work with what we work with. So stuff like that. And again, I like being able to kind of, create my own thing. It's another mallet flex here, so all the like vibraphones and stuff like that, they're little rhythms or whatever, but you can come in and you can hold down your own notes or chords or whatever, and it will play those chords in a particular rhythm. You can also go and create your own rhythms. There's a back end, right? It's got standard EQ, compressor, that kind of stuff. If you want to be able to adjust it from there instead of having to, you know, do stuff from like the mixer. So you can control which instruments are playing or what aren't. So like that one or this one? No, it was probably that one. This one. So you can kind of hear like higher pitch sound that's playing. Pull it up, mute the rest of that stuff, and all right, now you got right. It's that same thing. Just took out some stuff and kept that part I like and played. So the fact that I can actually come in here and like do all this stuff is crazy. Let's clone some. Trying to open it because I actually want this bass guitar. The guitars are probably like the highlight. So like even if you don't get like the full package or anything like that, I would say, right, personally, if you can get a hold of these, do so, right? So not only do you, right, the one that says melody just allows you to be able to play. Right, but over here, or if you select this, it's just, if you select this version of it, you'll just get this section, and all it contains are rhythms, right? So I can click on this magnifying thing here, and these are all the rhythms that are programmed, right? Well, I'm at the bottom, so ways that I cannot play the guitar on my keyboard, I could choose here. Let's see if we can. Let me see if I can find. Let's say we like this, okay? So I'm gonna hit this check mark, and it puts it here, right? Now I can hold down the key, and you can see it's moving, and we can get to that rhythm. Now I can hold down C, and it will play that rhythm in this note, or you can see here, voicing, right? So voicing 1 is playing the 3rd, the 7th, and the 9th, right? So if I hold down C and G, right, if I hold down another note, right, and it will keep adding, and it will play it in the voicing that you have selected, or you can do no voicing and it will just play it as you play it. Right? But I have control over what's playing. So once I find the rhythm that I like, then it's easy for me to go in and create the progression that I want to play along in the song. So sometimes people look at this stuff and they're like, they want $300, and they don't understand like what goes into it. And once you realize, you can even create your own rhythms in here. that's the crazy part. You can come in here and create your own rhythms as well. So not only are there like hundreds, right, that you can choose, but you can actually come in here and create your own. And then this is just one of the guitars, right? So then you still have this one, right? And so now when you select this, now you have another 200, 300, 400 rhythms that you can select, right? And then different styles, right? So okay, we like that, and now we have all these rhythms available to us. I have control over. Oops. Right? And so you can create your own progression, right? As soon as you hear a rhythm that you like, you're not stuck with, oh, here's this riff in the key of E minor, and then you're trying to pitch it, but you can't really. Maybe you're trying to pitch it like to get to a lower key because you start pitching it higher. It's like too much artifacting, and then you start pitching it lower, and it just no, it's not pitched. It's played in that key. So you got to think about the guy who had to walk in. How many hours were spent playing the progressions, making sure it's played like perfectly, and you're not just going here on the first chord like really loud, and the others are. So that's a long time. And then to play one progression and say play it in all these different keys and all these different voicings, right? You have control over the voicings and everything. Like this takes a long time, right? So you'll see this thing and it's like, oh, this plugin is 40 gigs. Yeah, because all the samples that went into trying to record this and all that. So man, I should use this stuff more. And unfortunately I don't. But there have been moments where I have, and I like how the the music is turned out. Right? Like
Legion of Tunes.
facts. It really does. It hurts. It hurts. I remember they were having a sale, and I think for people who like never owned complete software, they were giving it out at 50% off. So my friend like hits me up. He's like, "Hey man, is this worth it?" I didn't even have to look at the link once he posted it. Seeing it was complete, I like get it. I said, get it. I said, I don't care if you gotta eat fingernails and toenails for the next 2 weeks. Like, get it. And he started laughing. I'm like, I'm serious, man. Like, get it. And I'm like, at that price, you would be a fool not to, right? Like, even if you're looking at the standard, I think the standard is like 400, just on its own, no sale. 50% off is gonna make it $200, right? Standard and all the additions above it come with Contact 8. Contact's a very popular sampler, very powerful. If you go on their website and look at Contact 8 by itself, it's $300. So when you look at Complete Standard, and they give you Contact 8, they give you Massive, they give you this other stuff, they give you drum kits, they give you whatever. When you start doing the math, it far exceeds the $400 you're even paying. Because Contact 8 by itself is $300. And then if you go and look up one of the other libraries by itself, it might be like 150. So for the price of Contact 8 by itself and one library, you can get a whole bundle of things. And then they gave it to you at 50% off. Are you kidding me? I told him. I said, if you don't get it, you're going to regret it. And I'm going to laugh at you. I don't think I heard from him since. So maybe he's ducking me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's ducking me. Maybe he feels the regret. But it does. It hurts. They're big ticket items, and you want to know if it's worth it, and different things like that. And I'm here to say, right? Do you need the like collector's edition or something? Most people probably not, right? Standard should be enough to do most genres, right? Again, Ultimate is kind of their introduction to the cinematic libraries, and then the collector's edition is basically more stuff for like cinematic whatever. But there are some things that they give you, like you're looking at guitars and choirs and little things like that, where you might actually want that, but you can only get it in one of the higher tiers, and so that might hurt. But just for standard, like pop, hip hop, whatever, you can just get complete standard. It literally gives you everything that you're gonna need to make those genres of music, and you get a ton of it. The options, everything. They even give you effects, so you get EQs and compressors and I don't know, is it plugin line? Who do they have their? Forget who they got their like deal with, but there's some stuff you'll get from them as well. Uh, then of course, if you're not good with like mastering, you get Ozone, right? That comes standard now with complete. So again, if you look at like Ozone and what it's gonna cost you to get it, again, you start looking at the bundle itself, and you're like, $400 ain't that bad, right? To buy these individually is gonna at least cost me $1,000, and I don't even have a lot. Or I pay the 400 and I get all this in a bundle, right? Yeah. I think that's when I finally realized I grew up. There was one year there was a Black Friday sale, and everybody's always like, I'm gonna upgrade my TV from a 55 inch to a 65 inch, and you're just like, right? And like the TV is big enough. Why do you need a bigger TV like that? Like stop. Go do something else, right? Go buy something else that you need. Like you don't need a 65-inch TV. You don't. If you have 55, you don't need 65. Now you're trying to get like 105, and okay, I can kind of, but don't try and one up yourself. It don't make any sense. So Black Friday came around, and I woke up and I'm like, man, forget all that. Cause I was looking at like computers and stuff. Like, forget all that. So I need drums. So I started, I started looking around, and I found this one site. Get on the site. I'm looking. Black Friday sale. Man, man, whole website up for sale in a bundle, and I believe the price was like it's like two something. It was enough to make me think, should I do it or not? I just sat here at my desk, and I'm just like, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? I'm like, man, I'm not really gonna have any money if I do it, but I have this whole site worth of drums, and I'm looking like this pack's 40, this pack's 60, this pack's whatever, and like the total amount, the value was like 1,400 something, but marked down for Black Friday. And I'm like, well, they made enough off of it, right? So it's not like they're losing anything for dropping it that low, but you got everything to gain, right? So sit there, sit there, sit there. I finally decided, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I said, whatever, I'll do it. If I gotta eat noodles, whatever, I'll do it. So I went, I click, I go, I choose PayPal, and this is before, paying for it was like everywhere. You just might get it, and paying for it came up, and I was like, yes, I didn't even think twice about it anymore. Click, 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 click. So I ended up getting like what was it, around 30, I want to say it's around 30 gigs worth of stuff. And here it is. I keep it in this folder. So all of this came up from one website. Right, so everything from like drums and stuff like that, from like third-party Contact library stuff, right, which I have in Contact, 808s, strings, different things like that, right? Of course, different snares and whatever, but also like construction kits and things, which I probably should start using more. But you know, no, not that one. It's this one. I like these. This is called the Lost Tapes. So it's just like a bunch of like soul kind of stuff and whatnot. So I just got like a ton of stuff just sitting around that I've like hardly used. So it's just so yeah, I got a lot of stuff, drums and all that. But what I didn't know in buying like Complete Ultimate and all that was that I was already getting a lot of drum kits from Native Instruments, right? And I ended up getting the Machine Micro, is it the Mark III, I believe. So I don't really use it. I should. I have the machine software as well, so I want to learn to use that. And I want to build my beats inside of Machine, and I want to export everything out into FL, do my mixing and stuff in FL. Um, but yeah, there are so many kits that I got from that I don't even touch. I don't even touch that stuff anymore. And the cool thing about that is all. So for people who are maybe seeing that and like asking questions, all of the machine drum kits are WAV files. Okay, so you can come in to one, open up the sample folder, and you open up drums, and these are the WAV files here. So if you were ever thinking about getting some drums from them and you weren't sure because they're like it's for a machine, yes, there are some folders in here. If you try and open them, nothing will show because that's a machine-based thing. But there's also, you have the actual WAV files for all of this, right? So, boom. And that's mainly what I've been using. All of this stuff, these kicks and all that, that's out of Machine. So, the phone's about to die, so you have to go. All right, man, appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Hope you have a good day. Yeah, so we definitely want to get that in there. Where is it? Yeah, so just all the different ways you could just wait, hold on. There we go. Okay. Oh, I see end right there. That's why. something like that, right? This I can't. It's not polyphonic, so I can't, as you could imagine. Whatever, right? Just get into a nice little groove. So something like that might be good. Sorry. We could do something like that. Ah. So I think I'll have it come in just here. Um, ah. So we could try something like that. I'm down with it. Let's oh jeez. Let's start it over. Oh, one more time. Okay, so we can, and we're definitely gonna have some problems here. We'll get there when we get there, but oh, that was interesting. Okay, so these I'm not worried about because here we actually have notes that I want to slide, so too worried about that. I think is there Yeah, I think it was just like barely off, so it was like it sounded like there was an extra note there, but it wasn't. That should. That should be something like that. That's gonna go like this. That's gonna go like this. It's gonna come over one. That's gonna go here. Okay, these are gonna go together. You know what? And we may not need those notes. I like how that kind of, right? That way it's almost like this gap. What if we leave this one in? Right? Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, so what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna put it on 1/6 step. All right, so since this Contact Library has some expression technology, and so it can kind of detect different things that I'm doing, and we'll continue. Since I'm doing stuff and it's kind of determining, right, based on how I'm playing, whether it's going to add, a different technique to it or not. We don't have to go in here and do stuff like this to try and get like a pitch bend or anything like that. We're gonna move it over 2 spaces, and then we're just gonna make this crossover just barely, because we just, right? That's it. It's just a quick slide that we're doing, so we don't need to hold this note for very long. All the way back. We'll move these so it's not trying to hold the note over another note. So we notice here, quieter note, louder note. This is louder than quieter, and it sounds a little different, don't it? So we're just gonna switch that. Make that a little louder. Same thing here. We don't have to have it slide this time around if we didn't want to, just so there's like variation into it, right? But the way that I played it, it had the slide in here, so. That'll have to be shorter. Doesn't have to slide on everyone, but that was the groove I was in. So some of these seem like they stopped just a bit short. Take it about 2. Even some of these, hold on. Why does that feel like... It feels like it's almost, maybe it's a little too fast. I don't think so. It's probably me. Okay, this one. I kind of like this idea right here. Maybe shorten this one. We'll make it 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So maybe where it first plays, don't add the slide. So yeah, I think I'll do that. Maybe I'll leave it like that, but then add that right there. Now we'll want to but nah, I don't think we'll use this particular instrument, but we'll probably go for like a section. Let's see. What could we get? Or I could have went for that. Let's turn this down. All right, whatever. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Uh, hey, how's it going? Drew in the building. Appreciate you stopping by. You doing this morning? We're trying to figure out this chorus part. So I got these strings that I wanna. Wrong keys. Okay, I think if I can get that in and have that layer under we got going on here, we might be okay. Okay, and playback hits at the beginning. Good. Okay, and then that can just repeat itself basically. Fine, it can just play together like that and play back. I think there we'll have to recreate there as well, or I could maybe chop that as well, like I did that one, and so like or we could just hold it. To change right there. Something like that could work. Do something like that too, where we just kind of let go after a little while, after it's held for a little while. I think that kind of works too. So, automation, go here. Just do something like that, and of course the first chord is missing. What else would I expect? I think that's the right notes, but that's fancy. You know what? Maybe it's being held too long. That's what it is. off right here. So I got two options. I could either drag this and have this play like all the way through till it repeats again, or we could do it like this, right? Yo, Gladio in the building. Happy Wednesday. Have a great day and a great stream. Big hug. Much love. Appreciate it. Know what I didn't do? And I should do? Let's get some shouts here. Oh shit, I didn't even see. Who is this? Paces? Am I saying that correctly? My bad, I didn't even see that right there, man. I'm just like scrolling down my chat, giving shouts to everybody that's in here. Oh, okay, I see. We got us a troll. That's why I didn't see him. Well, that makes sense. And then I gave the troll a shout. You know what? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm still scrolling through here and looking for names. We got Jinx. Jinx was in the building. I know we have Gladio here. We got Drew. I think that's everybody. And we got everybody in here. All right, cool. sounded. I don't know. Something like that, right? Something like that. I just need something simple that's a little catchy. It's got like a little, and then we'd be done. At least with that. And then I still got. Plus I could add this. It's starting to come together now, right? So Something like that, right? I have to figure it out, but it's something really simple that I could put in there that just kind of gives it a little bit more of a groove, right? Instead of just like holding the button. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't do it. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like something that's got a bit more of a like groove to it. Now as far as the actual sound, we got some different presets here. We may find something that's a little more on the smooth side and not. Shoot. I was digging through stuff. Maybe there's something that's got a little more. Something. We'll work that part out. It's gonna take a while, but we'll work that out. But what I do want to do is. That would be here. This is just here because we're scrolling through stuff. Down here. Where was that? Maybe. You take this one. extra snare. Where's that coming from? Since it's like right here, it's like extra loud. But it's nowhere here. Extra. I don't know, that's an interesting one. There's done. Whole time is the EQ on there. Okay, this is same thing. No, maybe it's because of this. Or it's probably the limiter, but I'm not showing any extra notes here. Yeah, there are no extra notes, like, you know, kind of blended within each other. I guess it's not too bad. With this, yeah. That's not strings. Also not strings. All right. I think I'll leave it like that. I like that better, and then have this come in like that, and then out. Plus, it makes it feel different. Oh, hold on a second. Just noticed that. I'm like, how come my desktop audio? I wasn't sure if you guys could hear it. Then come to find out, it's actually coming through my music. So it probably sounds a lot lower. Maybe not a lot. Maybe it's like a little bit. Is that it? That should do it. That should do it. Alright, sound better? That looks like it sounds, that's better. See, there's something, maybe not with that one, but see, that could also be something. So So something like that. You know, like that's another little possibility right there. And then dun 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 dun, dun, right? So something like that, right? That come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go. All right, so come on, man. All right, we got this. Yo, Chinks in the building. Appreciate it, man. I'm trying to get this part figured out right here. So what I want to do is we're just gonna keep this shell. And then we come up with that. But I'm gonna do it from up here, so something like that. Something like that. It's over. It's over. Okay. Here we go. How did you mess that up? Jeez. All right. That's okay. We can fix it. But let's make sure we want this together. And then I butchered this here, so there's our A minor 7. Okay, so just a bit. What I want to do is something like this. Everything should be together. Watch what we're gonna do here. So take this. I'm gonna take the 1-4. Give some space. Great. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use our strum tool here. Right? Because that's how I was playing it, right? Whoops. Right? So it's got that little where all the notes aren't being played at the same time. That's all we did here. Bam. Because once you quantize it, it's going to snap it to whatever grid you have set, right? So, but that's not how we play. So, bam. A little bit off there. And like I said, all we're really missing is getting the right bass melody in here. That's really it. I could get rid of this on the second part. I forgot, I actually have the electric piano playing up here. So yeah, and we don't necessarily have to have this come in after it. Nah. Alright, and then it's just little stuff, right? Just to kind of add in here, right? Right, it's just little stuff at this point. But the bulk of it is pretty much done, with the exception of our base. Whatever, right? We'll find something to kind of put in there, give it a nice little groove. For some reason, if I just can't make it work, we just go to the tried and true, right? We can use 808, we can use a synth bass. There's other ways to get a bass line, right? But I do want to get something that's got a bit more of a groove to it. If I can't do it, you know, we stick to what we know. So. But as far as the rest of this is pretty solid. So for the strings, we'll definitely want to make them like a little bit darker. But this is kind of like a filter, like a low cut. So I would probably be careful on what I do with this. I might go in here with like an EQ and do something properly. But just so that, right, that we're not picking up all the highs, the air and all that, introducing it into it. So just making it darker kind of like removes all of that and allows it to blend under this other instrument we got playing. And that should allow us to kind of turn up the volume at least, right? And so there's not too much of a clash, right? Saying so, probably add a little bit of attack. Something like that, right? That's what I should have did. All right. That's what I get, don't I? It makes it a little, it's a little bright. I had that, right? So we could do that and see how that works. That sounds more about the tone that we need. Maybe not that long though. That's cool. Then it comes around second time. I'm wondering if I should put like a gap. And have it here. And it would come in and ring. That's an option too, but so again, it's just little stuff that I need to add in here. I'll do that later. Which will be cool because the way I want the hats. This is pretty much gonna run through the entire thing, but let's see. Yeah, so something like this. Like I said, the rest of this stuff is just little. Yeah, the only thing I'm really gonna struggle with is the bass. I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the bass and then rap. And then that clap, we might get rid of that clap. Yo, Space Cowboy in the building. Appreciate you stopping by. How you doing this morning? Getting ready to head out here in a little bit. Feeling good. We got this pretty much wrapped up. I gotta figure out a bass line and then add these couple of little sounds in here. It's really just some simple things. The bulk of it's already done. And like I said, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with this bass, or if we're gonna use this bass at all. I could try an 808 or a synth bass or something if it's not working out, but I would like to get the bass guitar working here. I have to figure out some kind of a groove, but we got the bulk of it, right? We got the heavy part out of the way. Does a little bit. Got this. Then we got this other sound kind of layered on top. We got strings. We got some percussive elements here. And then we got the brass, right? Got a little sax here. And then these are just different sections of instruments I already have here. And then the rest of it is drums. I see the bass, right? Like that's the last big thing that I need. Is get some bass in there, and then these other little sounds, it's nothing. They'll just pop in somewhere, right? Right, we can make a little transition effect with that. Right? And then I got a couple of tom sounds here. Right? Just to have something in there. Right? Just little stuff. And it's a wrap. But the biggest thing is just the bass. Getting the bass in there the way I wanted to. And then boom, the rest of this is pretty much done. I'll say it's like 95% there. Yeah, make it majestic. Don't know anything about that. They know about that, man. I don't know anything about that. Whatever. Whatever. I messed up. Let's go. We're getting better out here. Hey, I can tell you right now, a lot of this stuff, I don't even hear it. I don't even hear it till it's time to hear it. Does that make sense? No? Hey. Right? I get up, sit at my computer. Like a little ritual I do, right? You just do some warm up stuff and you just listen, right? Oh, I think we messed up there. There we go. Right? You go around, you do some stuff like that. Right? You just do little stuff like this and have fun, and usually something will stick out, right? And then you'll get the you'll start hearing some stuff. But the biggest thing is you gotta have the knowledge. There's no way around that. Here's why, right? What is this? If you know what this is, and you can call it by name, knowledge of it. If you have knowledge of something, then you have awareness of something, right? If you're aware of something, then you're conscious of something. So, to be able to hear something, you have to be aware of it, right? You have to have knowledge of it. If you don't have the knowledge of it, then you're not aware of it. Then when you hear something, you don't know what that is. You don't know what to call that. Right? That's a B7. It's a B dominant 7. Right? If you're not aware, if you never heard 2, 5, 1 to know what to call it, you don't know that's a 2, 5, 1. It just sounds fancy, right? So, again, that's a 1, 3. That's basically what the progression is. But to get back to the 1, we do a 2, a 5 to the 1, right? To get to the 3, we use the 5, the dominant of the 3, right? Right? To get to that, 1, 7, 3, and then we take the tonic we started on, go up 3 semitones and play in that key the same moves. 1, 7, 3. But if you've never heard it, if you don't know what to call it, then it'll never you'll never be aware of it. You will not notice it. You can hear it in a song, you can whatever, and it just goes whew, right over your head, right? So the biggest thing is you gotta put in that work. Like even if you don't play, learn the concepts, right? 251, like just listen to what it sounds like, cause you could do that. 2, 5, 1. They all have that like familiarity to them. Whatever you can call it, there's something there that lets you know, hey, that's this. And so when you're going to play things, right? And in your mind, you hear something, you know how to identify it, you're aware of what that is. Right? So for me, I don't necessarily need to like, a lot of times I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just playing till something starts ringing back and forth in my head. It becomes infectious. I can't get rid of it. That's what'll make it. So I play, I have fun playing different stuff, or what am I wanting? What am I wanting to do? Let's see this. You wouldn't know what to call that. If you aren't aware of it, you don't know what to call that, right? But you heard it several times, right? But as you start playing, and the more of this you do, the more you realize like options you have, and so you would rather just fill out the options. So here's our 1, that's our 7, 3, right? But what if I want to do that? I don't have to make this a dominant. We could try making this a minor, right? Same thing. We could try going down to the 6 after the minor. And then go up to our 3. Right? You can just play around with it and see where it takes you. And 90% of the time, that's what I'm doing, right? One, 7, then the dominant 7, 3, then 6, 1, 7, then 3, 2, 5, 1, 5, 1, 7, 6, 7, 3, 2, 5, 1, 7, 6, 7, and then we're gonna do this nice little right. So if you play with something long enough, that might be the rule. But the more you start playing with it, the more you start breaking it. So now I'm gonna start with the minor, right, on my 7, but then I'm gonna switch, still play a 7, but do a dominant. And then I'm still coming to the 3. But I play an inversion of it, so instead of this sound, you get this sound. And now I can put that under my belt to go. See, I can mix them all together. And now it sounds nice, don't it? And the more you do it, you're recycling, and then as you're playing it, you're learning what your options are. I can go from this major one to this minor seven. I can go from this major one to this dominant seven. I can go from this major one to this diminished seven. I can go from this major one, and like the more you just play with it, and just let it, something will click. You're like, I can't stop playing it now, right? And once you do that, man, it's heaven. Yeah, write something and then you can't stop. You get something that's just infectious, right? You'll say some words or something and maybe you're not liking it and you change out some other words, and then after you do that a while and you play with your options, eventually you're gonna get something. You're gonna go, that I'm stuck. I can't I can't unhear it now. I'm stuck. That's it right there, and that's what you'll take. Ah, what was it? No, 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 no. Uh, it might be this. It's gonna be something close here. Can't remember, but there's a song that starts like that. Right? So instead of what I was doing, the one, the seven minor, and then the three being minor, it just starts off seven minor. Like you could get crazy with it, but you gotta at least know what it's called so that when you're there you could always swap out, right? That's my major, but that's what my minor sounds like. That's what my augmented sounds like. That's what my diminished sounds like. So you could always just play around. Even if you have nothing, you can't think of nothing that day, right? You could just write stuff. You could brainstorm, right? Just right. So we can start with that C major. We can go into this like it's a major, but we just flatten the five. So almost like a passing chord kind of thing. But we just shift over and go to B minor. Let's see if we can. Here, let's start it. Ah. Right. And the more you play with it, then the more you'll come up with something. whatever, right? you just and you just start going. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Get the get the knowledge, have the vocabulary, know what it is so that you're aware of it, and then once you're aware of it, then creating the sound that you're trying to hear. It's just a matter of right. So same thing, nothing nothing fancy going on here, right? E minor, a C major, it's our B diminished, and then coming here to our E dominant, and then E is the 5 of A. So we play our A, and then we turn our A into a dominant, because A is the 5 of D. So we can loop back to the D, right? So again, we can sorry, hit the wrong note there. Right, and then once you kind of get that down, you can start trying to experiment. Right. So once you're able to break it down like that, then there's freedom in it. Like once you can understand the music to where it's like speaking English, put it like that, then that's when you can just have the conversations, if you will, right? The musical conversations. Like you said, when you're writing, right? You're having that conversation or whatever, and you're writing, and so there's just certain things, when you say it hits a certain way, it hits different, right? You could feel it. Same thing with music, but you got to go through that process of like learning and just becoming aware of what to call what, right? Because even that, this is the 7, right? And these 2 notes are just down here. Oops. Right, but I didn't play this note. I played this note minus the root, right? Which left me a couple of fingers free to be able to kind of walk. So it's dope. And like I said, I've been spending more time practicing than I have been like actually making music. And so until, like I said, I can get better to where it's like having a conversation, a musical conversation, yeah, it'll be more practice for me than actually creating. But what I'm creating is gonna be quality, right? That's the goal. Is to you want to be able to create, but you want whatever you're creating to be of a certain quality, right? Yep, anytime. I'm definitely about to go. Overstay my welcome. We're at what, almost 3.5 hours. But if you would like, you can always join the Discord. It's not a lot going on there, but I want it to be more focused on music. So it's just channels more focused on music and channels where you can share music that you like, right? That's not yours. And there's channels where you can potentially work with people. There's a few people in there, but not too much going on right now. But hopefully, what I would like for it to be is a channel that's pretty much kind of focused on helping one another be the best they could be. So once it gets, once you get like more people in there, I would like to set like a day aside where I'll be in the Discord, and if people have like questions or whatever, like I'll go into like a voice chat. If people have questions in regards to like mixing or I don't know, ideas for like chord progressions or whatever, then I'm happy to sit and go over that stuff, because at the end of the day, chord progressions are not illegal, right? Keep saying it. Just make sure 80% of the composition is yours, right? Don't just flat out just steal somebody's whole song. But if you like a progression, there's nothing wrong with that. There's tens of thousands of songs, and they all have the same, right? Sing got the 1 4 5 1, right? There's so many songs. Even if they play it down here, right? That's still 1 to the 4, so they have major, right? It's all the same stuff, right? So I'm more than happy whatever I know and I've acquired to share with others. So yeah, if you would like, you can definitely join in that. And if you do post anything or just hit me up in a DM or something like that, be more than happy to talk with you about it. Much rather that, what you got going on, and trying to get it the best that it could be, than sit here and talk about drama in Streamer University. I've avoided all that, and I'm happy for it, but I know it's there. Somebody's gonna bring it up, and I can't wait to tell them. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's on my time. Remember, stay patient, be diligent, and as always, be majestic. And with that, I'm out. You guys take care. Peace.